Hello, my loves. Welcome back to our wonderful space, our home base, our sacred space, Bahati Life YouTube channel, man. It is so good once again to be able to shuffle cards, pull the chart, and see what the vibe is. The candle that I'm lighting is not anything magical. I mean, it smells pretty good, but it's from Bath & Body Works. It's their Paris Cafe candle. Don't know what it is about this, probably the coffee scent of it, but it literally smells like brioche buns and a cafe latte, which I just love. I love. So this week, man, we have Mercury Retrograde is happening literally starting today. Now, I am filming a little late, you guys. For those of you guys that follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you know that I was on a little vacation. I manifested a phenomenal trip with my mom, you guys. It was so restorative. We went to this amazing resort out in, I don't know, Majorca area, Parrish, Florida, I'm not sure. It was so beautiful, and what really stunned me was the sheer volume, I'm gonna say, of quiet and peace. We were watching the gators. We got a little invested and involved in some golf activities, which was so much fun. We went to this beautiful spa that felt like a cave. So what did you guys do? How are you guys feeling? What's the vibe? What was the vibe for you last weekend? What was the vibe for you last week? I don't know why, but I feel like for many of us, maybe we might want to relive last week's reading. And by relive, I mean re-listen to last week's reading and see how the messages kind of applied. And yeah, and of course, I'm going to shuffle the cards and see what's happening for us this week, right? So for those of you guys that don't know, Mercury Retrograde does begin this week. It is, again, Tuesday. I am filming late, May 10th. And Mercury Retrograde is going to start actually today. This is one of those times, as you guys know, in our cycle, and it's a season in our life where we're spending more time factoring in more time. What does that mean? That means that you're going to want to prepare for hiccups in your schedule, hiccups in your calendar. Give yourself more time to get to destinations, especially if it's an important appointment. Check and double check and triple check to make sure that your calendar is synced, that if you're putting everything onto your calendar or you're not, you've got the time right. Just the Mercury Retrograde is notorious for our brains just working a mile a minute. So sometimes our bodies can't catch up with how quick and how brilliant our brains are sometimes, so we can trip over our own feet, and also factor in the fact that you are not the only person on this planet. So there are other people who are tripping over their feet. Also, grace, kindness, patience is necessary, so 1000% warranted. As you know, there's going to be some mistakes that are made, some things, people are trying their best, they're doing the best that they can, and it is what it is, right? So the other thing that I want you guys to keep an eye out for, and this has already happened to me, is things breaking down, especially things that have moving parts, moving bits and pieces, and things that take you from point A to point B. Communication, planes, cars, stuff like that. So just make sure that, or not make sure, but be observant and aware that those things can absolutely break down during this time. I also want to not just hyper focus on Mercury Retrograde, but I want to talk to you guys about Pluto Retrograde. Pluto is the planet that rules regeneration, transformation, death, that deep cathartic cleansing, not karma, but like codependency is what I'm trying to say, addictions, things like that, the darker side of the shadow self, psychology, etc., etc. It's in the final degrees of Capricorn, and why this is so significant is that it's been putting down a massive sledgehammer in our lives for years, okay? And Pluto is now retrograde in the sign of Capricorn at the final degrees of Capricorn. So what this means is that those major karmic lessons that we've been dealing with and have been dealing with for a minute they're going to be rearing their head again, okay? They're going to show up again because Spirit really needs us to break this foundation, this thing that's been established. This has a lot to do with generational stories or experiences that get passed down from human to human, or how we've established our life and our structure or our society. Those things are getting whittled down and shaped, right? And sometimes as we're whittling a certain thing and we are making progress, we have to take a step back in order to make sure that, okay, yeah, we're focusing on this detail, but we don't want to miss this major piece, because yeah, we can perfect this detail of our life, but if something goes wrong or if something goes amiss, or if life hits or whatever the case is, or which it will, because one thing that's constant is change, that the foundation that we've been working so hard to perfect and the tiny details don't all collapse under the weight of one thing that would go wrong or one thing that would kind of turn. We want something that is going to evolve with us, and we want a foundation that is solid, not built on sand, right? I think that was one of the messages that we received last week, was Jimi Hendrix, castles made of sand will fall into the sea eventually, right? So yeah, don't be shocked if you have to revisit some things of the past, or some people have their own karma to clear out, or something that they need to detox out of their lives, or something that they've been grappling with or struggling with, and they come back to you in order to gain better, deeper clarity and understanding, something that just doesn't sit right with their spirit. Or they might be in your own life now, they might be focusing on issues that have been preventing them from vibing on a higher level, you know? So Spirit is going to break the ice on that. It's going to break the seal on that for the next few months. So just FYI, just keep an eye out for that, okay? So I said a lot in a small amount of time, and I just want to take this moment right now in order to welcome you, those who are returning viewers. Of course, my name is Jessica Alexandria. I'm the creator of Body Life Apothecary, a professional astrologer, tarot, and intuitive reader. Thank you so much for joining me today, once again. And if you are brand new, if you're a new face, welcome. It's an honor for you to join me and to share your time, your space with me. I know that time is energy, and I respect your time. And I am grateful that you are respecting my time. And I hope that this reading serves you. This reading is going to be for your highest and greatest good for all. I am calling in the guides, and I'm calling in the divine, and I'm calling in our angelic team to protect me, to protect my energy as I'm delivering this message. Also allow me to have greater discernment and clarity into what it is that you're showing me. Give me the visions and give me the messages that this viewer who is with us now, that they need to receive, and give them the discernment and the clarity to know what is for them, what they need to hear, what they need to receive in the way that best serves their highest and greatest good and their purpose at this moment in time. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Thank you, Spirit. Love you. Okay. Give me a minute, guys. I just want to sit with the cards. I've been shuffling for myself a lot lately, which I love, and shuffling for my friends, and I've been pulling over cards one at a time. But today I just want to flip them all over. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Whoa. Okay, give me a minute with this. What are you showing me? Okay, first things first, I want to talk to you about the base of this reading. We have the Hermit card and the Six of Wands. Both of these cards are reversed. For those of you guys that are asking, I'm going to be working with the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot. I'm big time getting a vision of the ocean, the sea. I see someone like walking out. This is a metaphor. I don't feel like this is a specific message. And if it is a specific message, it's someone who goes hiking in California. Like that's the vibe that it's giving me, or like something that's like off a cliff, like you go to this nature preserve, or you go to this area, and usually there's like a lot of people that go hiking there, and all of a sudden it's like quiet. Like this day, it's supremely quiet in this area. There's like no one out there. And at first you found it weird. At first your energy is like, should I be here? And then you hear the voice of God, or you hear the voice of reason, or you hear you hear. It starts with silence. It starts with complete silence. It feels like an echo. It feels like an empty space that's filled with spirit. And you're just looking out on the horizon, and it feels very, I don't want to say existential, but it feels very, you have a moment where you're receiving this message about how not fragile life is, but how like, you know, you're here. It's like meaningful but meaningless. There's this message here of you're gaining some type of insight. Spirit's like, no, don't leave this. Like, don't leave this message. Okay, so I'll take a step back. It has to do with your concept of time, and your concept of space, and your concept of why am I here? It has to do with a shift in your perspective as far as your purpose. And something about your purpose and why we're here, or the purpose of things, helps you to put everything back. Well, I don't want to say put everything back into perspective, but helps put everything into a new perspective. I'm also hearing the words ancient. I'm actually seeing, like, it's funny because I'm seeing the words ancient ruins, but they're flashing in like fluorescent lighting, and it feels very red light district. Spirit is showing you that there might have been something that you were looking for and that you were attracted towards. And the more that you got closer to it, and the more that you spent your time or your energy in that space, the more that you're realizing this is not it. But the reality is that it gives you greater clarity into what it is that you actually want for yourself. However, you want something real. You want something sacred. You want something meaningful and purpose-filled. And you thought you saw it because it was being sold to you this way. It was showing up to you in this way. And the closer you got to it, the more that you realize, like, oh no, this is just a theme park. This is just, I just heard hand-me-downs, like this, something that's not, something that is worn in, something that is not tried and true, something that someone sold to you, and you end up realizing that you bought into something that is like a recreation of the real actual thing. I'm getting a vision of people who are out in the desert, like, or in Nevada or in Las Vegas, and there's all these magical places, but people recreate those magical places in little plastic toys, or like they like, you'll go into this museum and there's the plaster of a magical place, and you're gravitating towards it because your soul and your spirit actually wants to be in the actual space and experience the actual location and the actual thing. This is my hoodie here. Spirit is saying, you know, you're going to gain a greater perspective shift. They're going to clear out everything. They're going to clear out the space. Now, I had the vision of someone walking alongside this hiking trail where people usually exercise, or people usually go to clear their heads, or go for a walk, or walk their dogs, or whatever, or have a first kiss. I don't know why I heard that, but now they the time that spirit takes you, it feels really empty. It feels really quiet. This is going to be a part of your Mercury retrograde blessing. It's going to give you a different perspective shift, because you're being shown by spirit similarities of the destination, the next destination. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to open up the door a little bit, just because there's this beautiful breeze that's still going on. Da-na-na-na. 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 We're just gonna crack it a little bit because y'all, if my chickens hear my voice, specifically Cobweb, he will rage. Some of you guys feel like this path that you've taken, or this where life has led you in this relationship, in this career, along your career path, along your work, along your purpose, along your destiny. It's like you get to this cliff and you're just like, fuck. Like, I've been doing it this way and this is not it. Not it, not it, not it, not it. I'm hearing a bunch of like echoes, like people are also on their cliffs and they're just like, fuck, like this isn't it. And this is literally, Spirit is trying to give you clarity that this is not a moment of failure. This is a moment of clarity, and this is a part of your purpose. It's in order to get you to understand. Can I flip the camera around? My chickens just hear my voice and they're hopping over the gate. So cute. This is meant to give you greater clarity. This is, I keep hearing like this is a gain, this is a gain, this is a gain, this is a gain, this is a gain. Every time it's like a gain, a gain, a gain. Some of you guys are feeling like this is unfair, this is unwarranted. I'm hearing the word thwarted, Thwarted, something that's like you're going and then skirt, and you're just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But really what it is, you know, when we say like, oh, this is a lesson, oh, this is to teach us something. This is to give you, oh my God, sorry. Sorry guys, my baby chick is just running really fast. This is to give you greater clarity into, like, what Spirit wants you to do is to look at the similarities, how this matches this, how this looks like this, and this is not it, but it shows you what you want. So Spirit is saying during this Mercury retrograde stage, and or at least right now for this week, look at what was very similar to that which you want, because that is what you are being called to go towards. And that's it. That's literally what Spirit wanted to say. And I say, cool, now move forward. All right, and now we will do that. So the cards that I have pulled, I have at the center of the reading, we have, is this the page? Nope, this is the Knight of Cups and the Chariot. So this is you learning. Okay, I heard the word intake. Someone is going into the hospital. It doesn't feel bad. It feels good, actually. It feels like you're addressing something that's you've been putting off, or something that has been building up. This could also be someone going into the hospital to give birth. So they're going to be off the radar for a little bit, but they're going to be addressing something. I'm hearing Spirit is saying, this is a very specific message. Someone has some concerns, highlighting some concerns. Spirit says when you go to the hospital, when you go to this place, it could be also, I'm hearing, yeah, you're meant to be speaking up. There's this energy of reform. Tell them what your experience is. Tell them where it hurts. Tell them everything. Something needs to be reformed here. Some of you guys might be healing from addiction. I don't see the Devil card here, but you guys are healing from some type of addiction. This is a very specific message. So it's like you're going to go into this space and you're going to be pulled off the radar. Some of you guys are going not into a hospital, but into, I told you, as soon as I talk, those chickens just start talking back. All right, I'm gonna close the door. Sorry, guys. Ow. Just pinched my finger. Some of you guys are going into a think tank, is what I'm hearing. You're going into a journey, like it's like you might physically be going on an actual journey to go somewhere. If that is actually the case, they're saying, make sure that you're not running away from anything. Deal with what you got to deal with when you get to your destination, but check and double check and cross check the smaller details that you might be leaving behind. It's like, let's say you're moving and then you forgot to turn off the electricity bill. So it's from the location that you were from the past, and someone's just kind of racking up a bill on your tab, you know what I mean? Take care of that. So make sure that even though you're moving on to into something new, or into a new space, or moving here, or going in this way, make sure that you are not neglecting the things that you're leaving behind while you are handling, right? I'm also feeling like for a lot of you guys are going into a think tank. You're addressing, dealing with, resolving, fixing. I'm hearing the word encapsulate, like you're putting everything into a capsule, like you're putting everything into not a bubble, but a shell. I don't know why I'm seeing an egg. You're putting all the things into this egg, and it's like growing, you know, so you're going to be off the radar. You're going to be, I don't say distant. You can be reached, but you're very focused. It feels very focused. Some of the things here that Spirit is they're trying to close out some certain chapters in your life, in order to, there's like certain things that you might have been left behind in the past. And I actually see the Six of Cups here reversed. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's certain things that are left in the past that still have bits of you. Meaning it could be your heart or your mind lingers back to this memory, or it's like something that you're gonna need or want to revisit. You've tried. I feel like there's this emphasis on you trying to go back in your mind, you know, to this space, to this place, and you're trying to like reconcile with it or heal it. You can only do so much healing with just the energy. Sometimes you have to actually have a conversation. Sometimes if you have the opportunity to, if you're afforded the opportunity to, sometimes you have to go back. Sometimes you have to drive, 15 hours in order to fix or to heal or to let go or to close out this chapter in your life. It feels very significant. It served its purpose, but now that the purpose is served, now that the bank account is filled, now that the relationship is over, now that you've graduated, there's something you have to go out. Like it could be you going back to pick up a diploma. It could be you having a final conference. Something here says there's more to this chapter that needs to be, I don't want to say explored, but closed out or said or done, so that there is a deeper level of healing. Spirit is showing me Four of Wands here in the Hierophant. Tremendous stability. I'm seeing a lot of focus on the diet. Some of you guys have Spirit is wanting to acknowledge dietary changes and your commitment to your own health. Some of you guys might be hiding certain things about yourself. You don't want someone to see something about you, and there's a reason why you're hiding it, because it's time to address that. It's time to show it so that it can, I'm seeing some of you guys actually going to a professional to see something that you've been hiding. You might have been afraid of them being able to see it. Spirit does not want, we have this message in the past. We have the Ace of Cups and the Justice card reversed. This is falling in the cards of the past. So there's something that Spirit doesn't want you to keep putting off or hiding or not dealing with or not. Something needs to be closed out. I'm surprised that we don't have the World card here, but I don't really need the World card. I can see it, but we have the Wheel of Fortune. We also have the King of Wands at the very center, at the very top of this reading. So Spirit is saying that this is a fated moment, a fated chapter in your life where you are meant to be empowered to take the reins. We have, again, at the very center of this reading, we have the Knight of Cups and we have the Chariot card. So this is you saying, this is what I want. This is what I have to deal with. Your Spirit is showing a level of maturity that you have achieved, even if it's only for a moment. Okay, you might not be able to constantly stay in the space of maturity and achievement and, a counsel. It's like it feels very like you're doing this You're doing what you have to do for you because you have to take care of this thing. Justice card reverse, Ace of Cups. It could be a welt, it could be a bump, it could be a heartache. There's something that needs that, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's something that needs to be dealt with. For some of you guys, you have been hiding it, or you've been trying to avoid it, or you've been putting it off. And now Spirit's like, let's talk about the Six of Cups reverse, because there's just time. Some of you guys, okay, let me just tell you. Six of Cups reversed and Two of Pentacles upright. Before you move on to the next thing, you've got to heal and address this thing. Spirit is like, this is what I was going to say. So sometimes when we leave something in the past, or we leave someone behind, or we know that something is toxic, or we know we've outgrown something, we've outlived something, we say, okay, I said goodbye to this and now I'm moving forward, right? Love that for you, and I support that. However, life is not meant to be, and life will not be always black and white. There's going to be a lot of gray area, okay? There's going to be a lot of gray area. We have the High Priestess in the near future, and she deals with the black and white, but she understands big time the gray area. She understands the gray a lot. The gray is that which cannot be boxed. That's that which does not conform, that which cannot be easily explained. It's the parts of life that are neither yes nor no. They're just an explanation, a long explanation, right? Spirit is saying that if you have this expectation that when you say goodbye to the past, or when you say goodbye to this thing, or when you let this go, it's not, don't expect your answer, don't expect that to be solidified and stay in that one thing, right? So let's say, I don't know why relationships are just so easy to explain, to use as examples, right? So let's say you let something go, a relationship go. You realize this is not working, right? So now the memories are resurfacing. There's something from the past or something that happened that, even though you knew that you were doing the right thing for yourself, those feelings or a feeling lingers and is still speaking to you as something that your energy, your spirit still needs to resolve. Your brain, if we're stuck in the black and white, is going to say, I said no to this, so I can't go back. Or if I'm thinking about it and I decide to go back, then I have to stay. That is not the case, okay? Spirit says, and Spirit teaches us time and time again, that we kind of box ourselves and we limit ourselves when we think that we are going to be either A or B. Those are two different extremes. What if I told you that there was an in-between that you could sit within and that was okay? That's going to be the gray area. So what does that mean? That means that you don't have to go back to your past and re-enter into a relationship, nor do you have to completely ice that person out and never see them again. There could be this gray area that works for you where you might see them again, there might be a conversation, there might be expression of feelings, but it doesn't lead to any one of those extremes, okay? It just is what it is. Spirit is saying, take this metaphor and take this example and apply it to that which it's meant to be, right? There is something that you need to explore, something that you need to see, something that you need to feel, address, feel with, sit with, that is not going to be all black or all white. There's clearly this separation that I keep seeing. We have Two of Pentacles, we have the High Priestess, we have the Chariot, we have the Justice card, we have Seven of Cups here, we have the Lovers here. There's something about you that wants to put this goes here and this goes here, and they do not bleed in and they do not. What if over time those separate things have melted and evolved into something that now has shifted into something else that can't be explained and can't be contained and something can't be confined? What if the gray area was the golden space? What if the gray area was where you belong? What if you don't have to choose one extreme or the other? What if you created your own fucking reality? What if you created your own career? What if you didn't box yourself in? What if you didn't ice the situation out? What if you did allow yourself to experience it? So Spirit is like, open your mind, and have the power, the confidence, the will to say to yourself, you know what? Yes. Or maybe. Spirit is saying your problem is going to be you trying so hard to separate these things. Are you feeling like currently the status quo is working? Like, I'm just going to keep, I've been juggling this, or I've been doing this, or I've been doing it this way I made the decision. 6 months ago, 3 months ago, I made the decision. I made this choice. And because I made that choice, because I realized that situation did not serve me, I cannot take steps backwards. And Spirit's like, see, that's where you're going to fuck yourself up. And Spirit is saying, I'm in control. I'll tell you intuitively by showing you through your spirit, this is not going to be so easily explained or understood. There's going to be a lot of gray area. And you are going to trip yourself up and fuck yourself up by trying to maintain the decisions that you've made in the past or that you made recently that were for your highest and greatest good. But life is always changing. Life is always evolving. People evolve. Things shift. And if you're trying to do things, can't carry on in the way that was working for you and was successful for you, which by all means, Spirit is supporting that, you're going to find yourself frustrated. And you're going to find yourself being called again and again to address, to deal with, to see, to invite in, to reconcile, to fix, to repair that which is happening here. It feels unescapable. We have the Chariot, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have Hierophant, we have the Strength card, we have the Tower card, we have the Lovers, we have Justice card. This is something that you cannot run away from. That even if you run away from it, you're going to be running towards it. No matter where you go, you're going to find yourself facing the same, I just heard the word battered ram. So you're just going to keep, which is a blessing. You don't want to be left to your own devices all the time, because then it's going to be you left to your own logic. The High Priestess has the most intimate relationship with the divine, and she's talking to the divine all the time. Sitting right next to the High Priestess is the Queen of Swords. She's giving greater clarity and she understands and is like literally ices everything out, because she's like, you know what? The only person I need right now, or the only person I need to hear from, or the only person I need to talk to right now is God. God, you tell me. Universe, you tell me. Angels, talk to me. Guides, ancestors, speak to me. I'm listening to you. And she understands that if she was meant to take a step in the wrong direction, or if she's meant to be guided into a specific location, Spirit is going to take her there, honey. Yes. But your problem is going to be you feeling like, this is what I logically know and understand will work for me. This is what I decided back then. So I'm going to continue to do it this way, because 6 months ago, 3 months ago, again, it worked for me. But now Spirit's like, wait, there's more. It's like, My Pillow. Like, I don't know why I'm getting that vision. Someone might be selling something or going on HSN, I don't know, like Home Shopping Network. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You're stepping into new territory. Let's say if you have online sales, or you use social media in order to make sales or in order to do business. Now all of a sudden you're just like, no, HSN is for my grandma or for old, but what if your target population is something other than what you thought it was? So explore the gray area is what I'm trying to say, right? Having said that, we have the Strength card and we have the Three of Pentacles. There's so much advocacy here that's happening. A lot of you guys have really built yourself up and are in a really strong, solid, stable place. So because you've created this for yourself and because you're seeing things working out for you, you might want to just stay there or stay here. But there's a karmic fated, and by karmic, I don't mean it comes with a lesson. Like it's not ill-advised. It doesn't feel punishing. It feels like you're gonna want to I'm hearing the word reform. So you're gonna want to not fall off the radar, but kind of, it's like someone closing the door to their office and making some phone calls. It's like someone who's like normally, like I'm seeing a restaurant, right? I'm getting a vision of a restaurant. It's like a manager who's always on the floor, or a restaurant owner who's always on the floor greeting, shaking everyone's hands, blah, blah, blah. And they're like the face. And that's how they normally show up. And then this day for this week, they don't show up, you know, with perfect hair, perfect makeup, or perfect appearance, or their suit and tie. They show up with jeans, and they get in the kitchen, or they go into the office, they close the door, and they're crunching numbers, and they're doing it for themselves. They're in the gray area. They're doing the smaller details, right? The specifics. A lot of you guys have come a long way when it comes to establishing yourself and establishing the groundwork and building the ground up. And now Spirit is not taking you away from that. They're actually taking you deeper into it, but you can't get deeper into your success, and you can't, I'm seeing like this, you're like about to hit oil, right? You're about to hit something amazing. And before that can happen, you just gotta dig a little deeper. Do something, like if you're digging over here, go, and they're like, oh, well, you know, don't, this area, there's nothing here. Historically speaking, there's nothing that you're going to find here. And you're just like, yeah, but I keep dreaming about this. I keep feeling to go here. I keep feeling to explore that. And then you go and you dig and you hit gold. You hit something. Spirit is speaking to you and inspiring within you to go, to deal with this thing, to go here, to travel here, to... It's like I'm hearing now is the time. There's a record, there's a script, there's a book, there's something recorded of your life. Like Akashic records or something that you want to surmount to. I don't know if that's the right word. Something that you want to establish for yourself, that it hasn't happened yet, right? Or you get glimpses of it and you think that it might be it, and then that thing doesn't work out, or it's like you have to let it go, or you have to give it space. You have to revisit it. And Spirit is like, talk to me after you close the door to the outside world, after you close the door to your own logic. Talk to me about your karma. Talk to me about your fate. Talk to me, because I need to step forward with the miracle. I need to lead you. The Chariot card is the power for us to lead ourselves, but I see you as the High Priestess, allowing Spirit to lead you. Even as I'm seeing this, the Queen of Swords is not known for displaying her intuitive knowledge and her intuitive powers, but, oh man, I almost set my hair on fire. But I don't know if you guys can see this, but the Queen is holding her sword and there's a breeze blowing, and that breeze inspires her activity. It inspires her power, and it inspires her to say no, or we're not doing that, or yes, we're doing that. She doesn't factor in people's sob stories or her own sob stories. She is obedient to the divine. She is obedient to God. She's obedient to the path in a way that is, there's no flexibility there. There's no, okay, I'll consider it. No, the divine told me this. The divine spoke to me. My heart is speaking to me. The message is speaking to me. I have to do this. And it may not logically make sense. It may not fit into box A or box B, but there are so many other boxes. And what if we didn't put it in a box? What if we put it in the ocean? Right? Did people even consider the fact? And some people won't get it. They'll be like, well, where the fuck did the ocean come from? I know, you wouldn't get it. But my people, they get it. You're not defined by any one thing. You can be all things or nothing. Okay, now we have the Tower card and the King of Swords. Exactly. This is something that you're just like, whoa, didn't see that, would never consider that, didn't think that that could happen. That would never. It's like you trying to find the solution with the same brain. It's like, so this is where you go to spirit. This is where you go to the divine. This is where you call out to something else to fix that which is imbalanced, that is nagging you, that is in your heart, that is embedded in your heart. You're trying to balance something on your own when spirit wants to step forward and fix it. And literally as soon as you do that, here comes 3 of Cups and 8 of Pentacles in order to pour in, right? So here you are, 2 of Pentacles. You're trying to, all right, I've got these 2 cups. I got these 2 things. I got these 2 blah, 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 blah. And finally you're just like, all right, wow, I could continue on, or I could carry on in this way, but it is only going to get me so far, or this is where the road stops. And at the end of the road, you're like, okay, spirit, you, spirit, led me here. So now that I'm here, I'm going to reach out to you through my intuition, through my feelings, because clearly something is speaking to me right now to fix, to restore, to make right that which is missing. That is you using your personal power, this fated moment in your life, this fated cycle in your life, something that you could not avoid. If you went down path A, you would hit the same barrier, you'd hit the same dead end. If you went down path C, you would hit the same dead end or a different dead end, right? Either way, it would end to a dead end, which is fated. It would have happened regardless. And at this dead end space, you say, okay, spirit, I cannot go any further. I cannot go on. I'm comfortable. I could set up camp here. I could build a home here, but you speak to me first. And spirit comes through and says, cool, glad you asked. That's why I'm here. Now let me pour into the cup that wasn't working out, the cup that was not reciprocated, the cup that was left empty, the cup that needed to be fixed. Something that wasn't working gets poured into, and this cup is filled with an elixir of life. This cup is filled with a miracle. This cup is filled with magic. And now that you have this magic poured in, now that you have this message coming through, now that you have this miracle that is occurring, finally it's like you're in the desert, or you're on the cave, or you're gaining this greater clarity or the shift in perspective, and all of a sudden it starts raining. And each one of those raindrops is filled with a rainbow. Like, I know it sounds so bananas, but it's like these raindrops are not normal rain. It's not normal rain. It's like cathartic, it's cleansing, it's soul fulfilling, it's soul quenching, it fills your actual soul, it fills your actual spirit, things that you couldn't do for yourself, things that you wouldn't be able to find by yourself. It's not that you're not capable, it's just that you are a human being having a spiritual experience, which means that at some point spirit has to come through. And once you start, you tilt your head back and you receive this rain, you receive this nourishment, you receive this clarity, then you say, 10 of Wands, now I'm ready to pick it back up again. Now I'm ready to explore the options. Now I'm ready to see what else is out there. Do I want door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, door number 4, door number 5, door number 15? There's all these different cups that present themselves to you, when before, if you were left to your own devices, you would only be stuck juggling the 2. And all it took was Spirit leading you to this dead end, or this point in your life, this miraculous point, where you literally, all you have to do is offer your cup and bow your head and say, Spirit, speak to me, I'm listening. The Queen of Swords and the High Priestess at the altar, at praying, going for that walk, and it happens miraculously. And literally Spirit says, all right, cool, celebrating, like you have this, now you have this, now you have a miracle. Now, all it takes is the divine turning its attention to you and touching you one time, and that's all it takes. Literally, that's all it takes. The Tower card and the King of Swords, that's literally all it takes for you to have like that epiphany, that awakening, that, oh, like, you know what I mean? We've been talking a lot about the idea of surrender. And when I say surrender, I don't mean abandon. When I say surrender, Spirit is talking to me and telling me about surrender, it doesn't mean to abandon hope, to abandon the child, to abandon the vision, to abandon the wish for true love. It's about abandoning, letting down your logic, letting down your own wisdom. It's not that you're not wise. It's just that you're going to receive a download, spiritual clarity, something that has confined you, contained you. Spirit will speak to you, and all of a sudden you'll have a perspective shift. All of a sudden the rain will be cathartic. All of a sudden there's a miracle. Ace of Swords reverse is you just not being stuck in your own thinking. Are those butterflies around her head? She's literally wearing a crown of butterflies. Butterflies represent transformation and being in that cocoon space in order for you to evolve, to shift. And you just know your instinct, your intuition is leading you to be dormant and quiet, and to fold up your legs, and to breathe, and to focus, and to be patient, even though you may be feeling impatient, even though you may be feeling restless. There's something that Spirit breathed into your soul that says, at this point along the chapter, Destiny. That could actually be your name. At this point along the chapter, Rebecca. At this point along the chapter, Tasha. At this point along the chapter, Jennifer. At this point along the chapter, Matthew. At this point along the chapter, whatever your name is, you are going to have to trust me, be called to trust me, listen to me, be obedient to me, because I'm going to guide your steps. If not, you're going to keep finding yourself facing faded walls or faded signs that point you in this direction, that will lead you to the same space that I will meet you at regardless. You're not going to be able to escape this. Again, we have Wheel of Fortune, we have the Chariot, we have Justice, we have the Hierophant, we have the High Priestess, we have the Strength card, we have the Tower card, and we have the Lovers. These are things that, regardless of the highs and the ups and the downs and the crazy yeses and the nos that you are being called to say, to state, to be a part of, you will find, or you will be found by that which you belong. The Lover's card is the final outcome. And something about this is like the angels, the same angels that were not screaming at you, because I'm not going to say screaming, but the same angels that keep talking to you in your ears, that ringing in your ear, that feeling that you feel, those synchronistic signs that you keep receiving, all of a sudden they get quiet. All of a sudden it gets real quiet. And when it does, you'll know you reached it. You'll know you're there. You'll know you hit promised land. You'll know that the ground that you're on is a miracle. You know that the ground beneath you is filled with oil. You know that the person whose eyes you're looking into is your soulmate. You know that you received miraculous healing. You know that life is about to change forever and be blessed, and everything is going to be different. That's what I see. That's what you need to call out for. It's a blessing and the greatest gift to not have to figure it out. Wait till you see this card. To not have to figure it out all by yourself. And as I'm saying that, we have the bobcat that says, life is a mystery. It's not meant to be totally understood by you, because it's just like meant to be miraculous. It's meant to be like, why do some seeds sprout and some don't when they both have life in them and they're both in the same soil? Some of them have a greater destiny, or some of them have a destiny to fulfill, where they grow into a tree or they rot into the soil and they come back into another form. There's some things that are meant to be called out of you. There are some things that are meant to be called into life. It's not logically explained. It's spiritually explained by how life moves and how energy moves, and the position, the placement, and the timing. The next card we have is a scarab beetle. Magic works through you. Through you. This means that you're a conduit. You're a receiver. You're energetically connecting to God and connecting to Spirit, the High Priestess here. And the way that this happens, I just see someone closing the door to their office and being off radar in order to receive, in order to allow magic to work through them. And then we have the bee spirit. Sweet results await. So this is, and bees are magical as hell, guys. I don't even know. Like, just look into the symbolism of the bee. The bee represents Bahati life for a reason. The bee has always been my animal totem for a reason. Look at all of the symbolism and all of the magic that revolves around the bee, and just allow that to speak to your spirit, because that will give you a whole lot. Next, we have Hummingbird Spirit. Be here now. This is about wherever Spirit has led you right now. It's neither good nor bad, but it is significant. Be poured into. Yep, claim your independence. This is you having the audacity, honey. The audacity, the power, the richness, the intuition, the strength, the voice, the solar plexus, the healed solar plexus to be like, I can't be there, I can't be there, I can't be real, it's you saying to yourself, I got to do this for me. I need to talk to Spirit. I need to. There is something, a destiny here that needs to be fulfilled. And the only way that that can happen is if I converse with Spirit. Some people look at you and be like, why do this person swears that they have, that Spirit talks to them like that. Again, you wouldn't understand. Like, I wouldn't expect you to understand, but I'm not going to sit here at this cafeteria table and converse with you and convince you of a greater purpose and destiny. I'm going to rise up and I'm going to fulfill that purpose and that destiny. I'm not meant to sit here and convince a trivial mind of something that they wouldn't be able to grasp anyways. One day, maybe. It's not that you're better than them. It's just that you're called into something right now. So claim your independence. Get up from that table. Move yourself. Maneuver yourself. Close the door and focus. Dove Spirit, we have be peace. So it's in that peaceful space. Peace is not like you being able to control everything that's going on around you. It's about everything can be crumbling, but you have a deeper sense of peace and knowingness within yourself that says, I am ready. Spirit is speaking to me. Spirit is calling. I hear you. I'm listening. And I'm going to create and manifest peaceful existence within my being. Now, it is what it is. The last card is Sandpiper Spirit. This was playful. This was reversed. And the message underneath it is be playful. Take this how it resonates, you guys. Because I feel like with the King of Swords and with the Queen of Swords here, both of them, and with the High Priestess, and with the Hierophant, I feel like it's not so playful. Some of you guys need to be very serious about your boundaries. Some of you guys need to be very serious about your peace. Some of you guys need to be very serious about being present. Some of you guys need to be very serious about your success. Some of you guys need to be very serious about your magic. Some of you guys need to be very serious in your conversation to God. or the divine, or however you speak to it, or earth, or whatever you believe in. All right. This is standing out to me, and then we'll just kind of close this reading out. I'll show you in a minute. I'm such a goof. Yep. Exactly what it is that I've been saying. I'm shuffling from, I don't know what deck this is, you guys. You know better than I. Choose a new direction. This is exactly what it is that I've been talking about. It's not that you have to abandon or surrender or give up, or maybe you do, but maybe it's not so black and white, right? But there's a new direction that you're being called into in your life. There's a new leveling up. There's a new, I don't even see it as leveling up as far as it is like, okay, I'm going to explore this, or I'm going to experience this. It feels very like solid, stable, lush, thriving, peaceful, quiet, but like the good kind of quiet. It feels nice. Then we have look for a sign. So there have been signs that you have seen. There are signs that you are going to see. There are certain things that are manifesting. There are certain things that are materializing while you're at this fork in the road. And then we have yes. Yes. And take that how it resonates. But to me, that yes feels very powerful. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me once again for another week of messages and pulling cards and pulling charts. I'm sending you all of the best of Mercury Retrograde's blessings. I am also feeling as though, as with the High Priestess here, and with the Chariot, and with the Karma and the Fate, and the Lover's card, work your magic. Work your magics, talk with spirit, sit with spirit first. Anything that you can need in order to work your magic, in order for you to manifest, I was even doing this last night, can be found, will be found in Bahati Life Apothecary for the most part. Shipping is international. Shipping is probably not the fastest. Like, I'm not Amazon fast, but I am getting better at shipping out faster. But many of you guys have noticed that also your items arrive with divine timing, but you do receive your items. So anyways, BahatiLife.com. There is only one Bahati Life account, and that's at Bahati Life. I'm not reaching out and extending readings for free on WhatsApp or anywhere else. If you're receiving that, it is a scammer. Okay, so just be aware of that. Use your discernment. And if you have any questions, hey Jess, is this you? Just email me at info@BahatiLife.com, and me or my assistant will be able to help you. We are known for our customer service now. And by we, I mean me, myself, and I, but also my assistant is phenomenal at extending the same heart and the same energy and attention that I would give to you guys. So just know that she's phenomenal. So she's there for you. You guys, every time that someone gets an email back from her, they're like, oh my God, I love that. Like, she's just so amazing at what she does, and I love her. She's very, very, and she genuinely like loves you guys as much as I love you. So it's just really nice. Anyways, we do have a full moon that is creeping up on us, and I mean that in the best way possible. The Scorpio eclipse, I will be working my magic 1000%. I mean, one doesn't sit on a Scorpio eclipse. One does not skip. One skip or sit on a Scorpio eclipse. One goes to their altar, goes outside, and sits under the light of that full moon, and they manifest to infinity and beyond, honey. That moon is just so powerful. All right, guys, I'm sending you all my love. Thank you so much for joining me once again.